Hi, my name is Leo Cullen. I'm the head of business development at Ostia, and today I'm speaking on our favorite topic, next generation API ecosystems. When you hear the term API ecosystem, often people's whole focus goes on the technology. However, we believe by doing that, you're overlooking the key ingredient, which is people. And people's ability to collaborate across teams, organizations, and industries. Essentially, an ecosystem of people that drives production and consumption of APIs. Production is driven by effective collaboration across business and technology teams within organizations, where consumption is driven by user experiences. And often it takes the APIs and digital capabilities of a number of companies to create those effective user experiences. So there's no doubt that collaboration is a key across all parts of an API ecosystem. But how do you create the environment that allows that level of interaction and collaboration? Well, two key terms, simplicity and standardization. These allow collaboration, which allows innovation and the development of new user experiences to drive revenue. Okay, so during this presentation, you're going to hear those words quite a lot: simplicity, standardization, collaboration, and user experience, because they're really key terms for next generation API ecosystems. But before we dive into the detail, let me give you a little background on Ostia. Ostia specialize in the design and deployment of API ecosystems, and we've been helping banks and financial services companies for the past 12 years carry out bespoke projects in different aspects of this, including streamlining software development lifecycles, improving partner onboarding experiences, and accessing data from legacy systems. Over this time, we've created two low code services for use by our internal developers. And these first one allows us to access data from legacy systems. And the second one is our speciality. It's the ability to create a sandbox that exactly replicates any environment, either proposed or existing. These low code developer services have served us well and have allowed us to meet the needs of many clients. You can see here feedback from MasterCard in relation to our sandbox as a service. We were looking for a best in class API sandbox experience for onboarding our partners. We found it with Ostia. So the services have served us very well. But just 2 years ago, we decided we should look to expose all of our digital capabilities through APIs, and to not stop at low code, but go to no code, not stop at sandboxes, but look to be able to develop all environments, sandbox, test, and production, and to not simply have a service for our internal developers, but have one that our clients can use. And a mere 2 years later, we now have a no code SaaS service for enterprise clients that allows the design, deployment, and scale of API ecosystems. This is our version and our vision of next generation API ecosystem design and deployment. To help describe the benefits of our service for design and deployment of API ecosystems, I'm going to use two formulas: a technology formula and a business formula. We're starting here with the technology formula, which is essentially your ability to create and deliver value across your API ecosystem. Okay, so data and functionality are your digital value. Interoperability is your ability to have that value flow within and beyond your organization. Composability is your ability to mix and match digital capabilities, again, both within and outside of your organization. And Together, basically, these are your core requirements, core technology requirement. Can you create and deliver value within your API ecosystem? The second formula we'll look at is the business formula. It looks quite similar to the last one, and indeed it is. The difference is user experience. Okay, adding user experience and prioritizing user experience, as it is this that allows you to define your digital strategy and to create your competitive advantage. Now, it's important to note that there's three levels of user experience. The first level is the user experience of your internal teams. Do they have the tools to work together? Do they have the common language to effectively create the user experiences that you want? The second level of user experience is called developer experience, and it's the experience of your partners and developers for onboarding onto your APIs. Right. So not only that, it's their ongoing experience of using your APIs within their services. So, and the last level of user experience is the most important level. It's end user experience. So, are the services that you're creating, do they meet the needs of your end users, and how quickly they do it, and how completely do they do it? You may have noticed how closely related the terms we mentioned earlier are to these two formulas. The technology or digital value formula is driven by standardization and simplicity. The business or digital strategy formula is driven by collaboration and user experience. Now we're going to look at how our no code service helps you meet the requirements for your API ecosystem. We can see here an API ecosystem illustrated using no code building blocks. At the bottom, fields are your core foundational building blocks that populate your payloads. Payloads, the request and response messages, are the building blocks of methods. Methods are your endpoint functionality and are the building blocks of API implementations, which represent your digital capabilities. Your API ecosystem is basically the full portfolio of your internal and external digital capabilities. Using no code to design and build an API ecosystem is the very essence of simplicity and standardization. And when a consistent and standardized approach is taken for the design and deployment of an API ecosystem like this, it's clear move from a project-based approach to an organization and ecosystem approach, which very importantly is easy to follow, easy to use, easy to manage, and easy to consume. Now let's look specifically at how the service is used to understand how it works. As mentioned, standards are at the core of the service, so we first like to work with the standards team within an organization. And as an aside, we recommend very highly that companies with large API ecosystems have a core multidisciplinary, that's business and technology, standards team. And as well as overlooking the organizational technology standards, that they track standardization initiatives, international standardization initiatives like open banking, that they audit all of the projects, and that, very importantly, that they monitor and report on API business strategy, if it's succeeding, if it's not doing well. Okay, it's really important that the team has both a business and technology focus because to get the desired business results, there must also be that business focus. And it may be surprising, but many companies still don't prioritize that business focus within the standards team. Okay, so great. Back to what we're talking about. We work with the standards team to ensure that all required organizational templates are in place, including a full and definitive taxonomy of field templates. This is achieved by batch processing all service definitions. These fields are then used by default across all projects within the organization. Okay, we also work with the standards team to ensure all necessary third party APIs are available for use by internal teams, again, using the no code configuration through the service. And lastly, we add all relevant international standards to the service. So the Ostia team does that work, such as adding OBIE, open banking standards, that's in the UK. When the standards are put in place, the design teams can get to work. And the service helps them to design API implementations in hours rather than weeks. And I don't think we can overemphasize the standardization across teams comes as default when using the service, as all of the defined field templates are used as appropriate across all projects. So how it works is the design team processes the service definition. A baseline API implementation is immediately created. Then this is available for no code configuration to ensure that all business requirements are met by the API implementation. And importantly, as this is a SaaS service, all stakeholders, internal and external, can be invited to provide feedback as soon as the design is ready. So when all stakeholders, and that's business and technology, are happy that the design is completed, it's then ready to be promoted across sandbox, test, and production in that sequence. So a brief summary of the key benefit. Our no-code SaaS service simplifies the design and deployment of enterprise-level API ecosystems. It allows the standardization of development across entire ecosystems. It speeds up development. It enables effective collaboration across business and technology teams. The experience across all environments, so sandbox, test, and production, is the same because the configuration is the same. It's no code, which greatly enhances partner and developer experience, both in onboarding and ongoing experience. And it greatly reduces your go to market times. Final thing I'm going to mention, at Ostia, we'll be looking at all of the key international standards relating to APIs. So the Ostia team will do the work on these so our clients don't have to. Okay, for example, the upcoming regulatory requirement for opening banking facing US banks and financial services companies, we will be creating the API implementation for these. And it'll be ready for use out of the box, which will save our clients' development teams up to about a year of development time and really greatly simplify and accelerate the compliance for banks and financial institutions. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and hearing about our version of next generation API ecosystem. For more information, you can go to ostia.io and actually you can take a test drive. If you feel our no code service will be of benefit to your API ecosystem, you can take a test drive at ostia.io/test drive.